She texted, "Your brother is hotter, I should have chosen him instead." During an argument, I replied, "You still can." Then I forwarded the screenshot to him. Their first date was last night. Original post I, 29 male, thought I knew what betrayal felt like. Turns out I was just scratching the surface. Been with Natalie, 27, for 4 years. Living together for 2. We'd been arguing more lately. Stupid stuff mostly. Who forgot to buy milk? Whose turn to clean the bathroom? Why I spent $200 on a new fishing rod without discussing it first. Last Thursday, we got into it again. She was mad I'd gone to my brother Danny's, 31 place after work, instead of coming straight home. Danny and I have been close since forever. He basically raised me after our dad dipped when I was 12. "You always choose him over me," she screamed. "That's ridiculous. I see him once a week, maybe." "Whatever, I'm done talking about this." She stomped off to the bedroom, slammed the door. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Text from Natalie. "You know what pisses me off most? Your brother is hotter anyway. I should have chosen him instead when I had the chance." I stared at that text for a solid minute. When I had the chance? What chance? Walked to the bedroom door. "Nat, what did you mean when you had the chance?" "Nothing. Leave me alone." Did something happen with Danny?" "Oh my God, no, I just meant, hypothetically, if I'd met him first." But here's the thing, she did meet him first. At my company barbecue 5 years ago. Danny was my +1 because I was single. She was there as someone's friend. They talked for like an hour before I even met her. I went back to the living room, screenshotted the text, and did something petty. Maybe stupid. Definitely relationship ending. I forwarded it to Danny with, "Apparently you're her one that got away? You interested?" Danny called immediately. "Bro, what the hell?" Explained the fight, the text, the whole thing. "That's messed up, man. You okay?" "Not really, but I'm done. You actually interested though?" "Alex, you serious right now?" "Dead serious. She wants you, she can have you. I'm done being someone's second choice." He was quiet for a minute. Then, "You know what? Yeah, let's see how much she really wants this." Update 1, 3 days later. Danny came over Saturday morning while Natalie was at her yoga class. Helped me pack my stuff. I didn't take anything we'd bought together, just my personal things. Moved into his guest room temporarily. Left a note, "You're right. Danny is great. I let him know you're interested. Good luck." The meltdown started at 11:47 a.m. 31 missed calls. 89 texts, ranging from, "Is this a joke? Where are you? This isn't funny anymore. You can't just leave. I didn't mean it like that. Your brother seriously texted me. WTF? You're such a child. Please come home. I'm calling the police." Danny had indeed texted her, "Hey Natalie, Alex showed me your text. Flattered, wanna grab coffee and talk about it?" She responded, "This is insane. Tell Alex to come home now." Danny, he's a grown man, can't tell him what to do, so coffee or not. Then the narrative shifting started. She called my mom, told her I'd abandoned her over a misunderstanding. Mom called me. "Honey, what's going on? Natalie says you moved out over nothing?" She said Danny was hotter and she should have chosen him instead, so I'm letting her. She said, "What?" "Ask her to show you the text, Mom." Mom hung up, called back an hour later. "That girl is not welcome at family dinners anymore." But here's where it gets interesting. My buddy Craig works at the same gym as Natalie's friend Jenna. Jenna let slip that this wasn't the first time Natalie had mentioned Danny. Apparently, she'd been telling her friends for months that she picked the wrong brother, and Danny was the total package. One friend even said Natalie admitted she initially pursued me to get closer to Danny. When that didn't work, because Danny wasn't interested in his little brother's girlfriend, she settled for me. Settled. 4 years of my life, and I was the consolation prize. Update 2, 1 week later. The entitlement escalation was swift and spectacular. First, she tried the legal angle. Claimed I'd stolen from her by taking my Xbox that I bought, my TV that I bought, and my coffee maker that I definitely bought. She actually called the cops. They showed up at Danny's place. I showed them receipts for everything. They looked annoyed and left. Then came the financial manipulation. See, we split rent 50-50, but I paid utilities, internet, and groceries because I made more. Suddenly, I get a Venmo request for $2,400, my half of utilities for the next 6 months since I broke the lease. I responded, "The lease you're not on? The utilities in my name? Good luck with that." She threatened small claims court. I said go for it. Meanwhile, Danny had been texting her. Not flirting, just being available. Responding to her increasingly unhinged messages about how inappropriate this all was. "You said you should have chosen me. I'm single, you're about to be single. What's inappropriate?" I was upset. It didn't mean anything. Seemed pretty specific. When I had the chance implies you had a chance. Stop twisting my words. I'm literally quoting you. Then she did something that crossed a line. She called my work, told them I was having a mental health crisis and had abandoned shared responsibilities. Suggested they might want to check on my stability. My boss, thankfully, knows me well. Called me in. "Alex, I got a concerning call about you." Explained the situation. Showed him the text. He actually laughed. "Your ex is calling here because you left her after she said she wanted your brother? That's bold." "Yeah, she's not handling it well. I can see that. You good to work?" "Never better." "Good. Oh, and if she calls again, I'm reporting it as harassment." She called again. He reported it. Update 3. 2 weeks later. The extinction burst, yes, I learned that term from Reddit, was magnificent. She showed up at Danny's place at 2 a.m. drunk, pounding on the door. "I know you're both in there. This is kidnapping." Danny, recording everything on his phone, calmly said through the door, "Natalie, you need to leave or I'm calling the police." "He's my boyfriend. You stole him." "Actually," I said through the door, "you said you wanted him instead, remember?" "I didn't mean it." The neighbors called the cops for us. She got a drunk and disorderly warning and a ride home in an Uber, the cops called. Next morning, her mom called me. Patricia had always been reasonable, so I answered. "Alex, honey, what is going on? Natalie is saying you and your brother are conspiring against her." "Patricia, she literally told me she should have chosen my brother instead of me. In writing. I'm just giving her what she wanted." "She said that? Want to see the screenshot?" Sent it to her. Long pause. "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. She mentioned something about your brother at Thanksgiving, but I thought it was just nonsense." "Wait, what did she say?" "That Danny was everything you were but better." I told her that was inappropriate and cruel. I thought she was just having a bad day. That was 8 months ago, Patricia. "I know, I'm sorry. You deserve better." Even her own mother was done with her. But Natalie wasn't done. She created a whole social media campaign about how I was manipulating her and pimping her out to my brother. Posted screenshots of Danny's texts, but conveniently cropped out her original message about him being hotter. So I posted the full screenshot. The full thing. Including the timestamp showing she sent it during our argument, not taken out of context like she claimed. The comments were brutal. Girl really said she wanted the brother and is mad she got what she asked for. Played stupid games, won stupid prizes. Team Danny Tibaha. Imagine fumbling so hard you lose both brothers. She deleted everything within an hour. Update 4. 3 weeks later, Danny actually asked her out. I know. But hear me out. "Bro, I want to take her on the worst date of her life," he said, "just to really drive home what she threw away." That's petty as hell. You forwarded her text to me. We're past petty. Fair point. So last Friday, Danny took her to Applebee's. Not knocking Applebee's, but Natalie was expecting some grand romantic gesture to win her. He showed up in sweatpants and a ratty t-shirt, spent the entire dinner talking about me, how great I am, how much he misses having me around. I'd gotten my own place by then. How any girl would be lucky to have me. She kept trying to change the subject, Danny told me later, laughing. Every time she'd try to flirt or talk about us, I'd bring it back to you. "Did you really show her my baby photos? The one where you're naked in the bathtub with a bucket on your head? Absolutely. You're evil." She said I was hotter. Nobody insults my little brother. At the end of the date, when she leaned in for a kiss, Danny stepped back. "Nah, this was just to see what Alex saw in you. Still don't get it. Have a nice life, Natalie." Left her standing in the Applebee's parking lot. She called me crying. Actually crying. "Your brother is an asshole." "Yeah, but he's hot, right? This isn't funny." "You ruined everything." "I ruined everything? You literally said you wanted him instead of me." "It was one text. One text that revealed 4 years of lies. You pursued me to get to him. You settled for me. You told people you picked the wrong brother. What exactly did I ruin? We could have worked through it. Worked through you wanting my brother? How? Threesome at Christmas? She hung up. Update 5, 1 month later. The lawn tantrum. Oh God, the lawn tantrum. I'd finally gotten all my mail forwarded, changed my addresses, the whole nine. Was feeling pretty good. Then I get a call from my former landlord. Alex, your ex is on the lawn with signs. Signs, and a megaphone. I drove over with Danny. He insisted on coming for protection/entertainment. Sure enough, there's Natalie on the lawn with professionally printed signs. Alex is a manipulator. He turned his family against me. I deserve closure. And she's telling anyone who will listen, nobody, about how I orchestrated a campaign against her. The landlord was standing there looking exhausted. She's been here an hour. I've called the police. Danny walked right up to her. Natalie, what are you doing? Exposing your brother for what he is. Which is a manipulative narcissist who can't handle rejection. You didn't reject him. You said I was hotter and you should have chosen me. That's not rejection. The cops arrived, recognized her from the 2 a.m. incident. Ma'am, we've talked about this before. This is different. This is protest. I have free speech. Not on private property, you don't. They made her leave. The landlord told me she'd been calling trying to get my new address, but they obviously couldn't give it out. She'd been showing up weekly asking when I'd be by to get my mail. I hadn't gotten mail there in weeks. Then came the letters to Danny's work. Yeah, she found out where he worked and sent his HR department a letter saying he was engaging in predatory behavior and manipulating vulnerable women. Danny's HR called him in. He explained everything, showed them the texts, the whole story. They were confused more than anything. So your brother's ex wanted you, you took her on one bad date on purpose, and now she's sending us letters? That's the gist of it. Okay, well, this is definitely a new one. They sent her a cease and desist. She sent back a 3-page manifesto about workplace accountability. They filed a restraining order. Update 6 weeks later, Rock Bottom has a basement, apparently. Natalie lost her job, not because of us, because she kept missing work to execute her various schemes. Calling in sick to stake out Danny's gym, taking personal days to protest at my old apartment, leaving early to print more signs. Her roommate, she'd had to get one to afford rent, reached out to me. Dude, she's lost it. She talks about you and your brother constantly. She's made a timeline on the wall of everything that happened, with string, like a conspiracy theorist. You're kidding. I wish. She's convinced your brother actually wants her, but you're preventing it. She plays that text conversation on speaker while doing yoga and screams at it. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm moving out and I thought you should know she somehow got your new address. Saw it on her conspiracy wall. Sure enough, 2 days later there's Natalie at my new place. But not angry Natalie. Crying, broken Natalie. Please, she sobbed. Please just talk to me. I've lost everything. Natalie, you need to leave. I loved you. I did. The Danny thing was just, I don't know, fantasy? Grass is greener? I didn't mean it. You told your friends you settled for me. I was lying to seem cool, like I had options. So you either lied to them or you're lying to me now. Either way, we're done. I'll kill myself if you don't take me back. I called 911, told them she was threatening self-harm. They took her for a psych evaluation. Her mom called me later, apologizing. Said Natalie had been struggling with the consequences of her actions and was getting help. I felt bad for about 5 seconds. Then I remembered she'd tried to get us both fired and stalked us for over a month. Final update. 3 months later. It's been 3 months since the text that ended everything. 3 months since I found out I was someone's consolation prize. Natalie is somewhere. Her mom sends me occasional updates. We stayed friendly. She's in therapy, living with her parents in another state, working on herself. Apparently, she finally admitted that she'd built up this whole fantasy about Danny that had nothing to do with reality. She'd convinced herself that if she'd chosen him, her life would be perfect. When faced with the reality that Danny wasn't interested and never had been, her whole worldview collapsed. Not my problem anymore. Danny and I are closer than ever. Nothing like shared trauma to bring brothers together. He's dating a nice girl named Monica now, who thinks the whole story is hilarious and regularly thanks Natalie in absentia for removing herself from the dating pool. As for me, I'm good. Living alone for the first time in years. Figured out I actually like my own company. Started fishing again. Bought 3 more rods just because I can. Joined a pool league. Met someone there, actually. Her name's Veronica. We're taking it slow. She knows the whole story. Hard not to when my ex wanted my brother is the wildest baggage you're carrying. The funniest part? Veronica met Danny last week. Her review? He's alright, but you're definitely the hot brother. Danny pretended to be offended for about 3 seconds before high-fiving me. Looking back, Natalie sending that text was the best thing that could have happened. Not because it didn't hurt. It hurt like hell finding out I was someone's backup plan. But because it showed me who she really was before I did something stupid like propose. Yeah. I'd been ring shopping. She wanted my brother? She got exactly what she asked for, a chance with him. The fact that he used it to defend me and she couldn't handle the reality of her fantasy? That's just poetry. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate. Sometimes it's just giving people exactly what they say they want and watching them realize they never wanted it at all. To everyone who messaged saying I was wrong for involving Danny, you're probably right. It was petty, immature, and probably unhealthy. But you know what? She spent 4 years lying to me about being her first choice. I spent 1 month showing her what getting her supposed first choice would actually look like. I can live with that ratio. Danny's taking me fishing tomorrow. He bought a boat with the money he saved, not dating Natalie. His joke, not mine. Life's pretty good when you're nobody's second choice. Peace out, Reddit. Thanks for following this ridiculous journey. P.S. Natalie, if you're reading this, and according to your roommate's last text you probably are, your mom asked me to tell you she changed the Netflix password. Also, Danny says the Applebee's gift card you sent him as an apology had $3.47 on it. He framed it.